Given that she's a point guard, and I know she was a shoot first point guard in college, but in the pros, she's been a facilitator, and she just would not pass Caitlin Clark the ball. I'm talking about like almost worse than Kelsey Mitchell, and that's saying something. I mean, it was bad. People were remarking about how like, yo, this girl, is there something going on with her and Caitlin? Like, is there a beef, a rift that we don't know about? This one says, Caitlin Clark and Arie McDonald should not be on the court at the same time. I repeat.
Karma moves fast in the basketball world, and this time, it didn't miss. Arie McDonald just got hit with season-ending news, and honestly, the timing couldn't be more ironic. Last season, she came to Indiana and played like Caitlin Clark didn't even exist. Wouldn't pass her the ball, wouldn't acknowledge her presence, wouldn't adjust, nothing. And now, she's stuck watching from the sidelines while everyone else gets to hoop. Funny how life works like that. So, let's spill the tea. On Monday, Arie McDonald, the Indiana Fever point guard, got the news that her unrivaled season is officially over. Now, before anyone panics, this does not mean she's out for the WNBA season. She'll be back for league play. But still, the timing is wild, especially considering everything that went down last year. And look, let me be clear. Arie is talented. There's no debate about that. She's been a problem since her Arizona days. I still remember that bubble year when she carried Arizona all the way to the national championship game. She had the game-winning shot at the buzzer, and even though it didn't fall, you couldn't deny the heart, the grit, the fight. Arie is a dog, a true competitor, the kind of player who gives you everything on every possession. That's why, when she came to Indiana, fans were excited. The Fever desperately needed a guard who could step up, and Arie looked like the perfect fit. She brought experience, toughness, leadership, and that never-quit mentality. Plus, she already had history with Caitlin from their college battles, so the expectations were sky-high. But what happened next? Yeah, that's where the story gets real interesting.
Dynamic player. She's a dog, and she's got a history with Caitlin. You know, everyone remembers the infamous.
Got one more, Arie.
Caitlin couldn't do nothing but laugh. Yeah, man, that was back when Arie played for the Los Angeles Sparks, and I guess her coach was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? Don't let Caitlin breathe." And Arie, took it, to heart. And only one thing, she forgot she had another free throw. And that's the type of player Arie McDonald is. She's you tell her to do something, she's gonna do it, and she's gonna give it her all. This guy, remember, shoot that other free throw, man.
Remember that free throw incident? Oh man, pure comedy. Arie was playing for the Los Angeles Sparks, and her coach had one simple message: make Caitlin Clark's life miserable. No space, no breathing room, no comfort. Just full court pressure, all game long. And Arie took that assignment way too seriously. She was glued to Caitlin, face to face, step for step, shadowing her everywhere she went. Didn't give her an inch, didn't let her breathe, didn't let her think. But here's the funny part. Arie got so locked in on defending Caitlin that she completely forgot she still had another free throw to shoot. I'm talking full tunnel vision. Instead of lining back up at the line, she immediately sprinted over and started guarding Caitlin, while the referee, the crowd, and both benches were sitting there like, you still have one more shot. The moment went viral instantly, because in that split second, it was clear. Caitlin Clark wasn't just in her head, she was living there rent-free.
Got one more, Arie.
The whole arena was losing it. Fans were cracking up, the benches were laughing, even Caitlin herself couldn't help but smile. It was one of those moments that instantly went viral. And honestly, that's just who Arie is. You give her an assignment, she's going to attack it with everything she's got. No hesitation, no half effort, full commitment. Just maybe remind her about those free throws next time. So when Arie joined the Fever, you'd think she'd be excited to finally play with Caitlin instead of against her. I mean, think about it. Two elite guards. Speed, shooting, playmaking. Finally on the same team. Ready to build chemistry, create magic, and light up the league. Right? Wrong. So wrong. What actually happened was one of the most awkward, frustrating things I've ever seen on a basketball court. Arie McDonald refused to pass Caitlin Clark the ball. And I don't mean occasionally missing her when she was open. I don't mean 1 or 2 bad reads. I'm talking consistently, repeatedly, almost intentionally. Possession after possession, Caitlin would be wide open and the ball just never came. Fast breaks, half-court sets, transition opportunities. Same result. No pass. At one point, it got so obvious that fans started tracking it. And here's the wild part. It was worse than what Kelsey Mitchell was doing. And if you know, that's saying something. This wasn't just bad chemistry. This felt personal.
Everybody was like, whoa, weren't expecting that. Like, you can't even have them on the court at the same time because Arie's just not.
And the crazy part? Everyone noticed. Usually, when something bugs me about how a team is playing, I'm the one yelling about it while everyone else slowly catches on. But this time? Nah, this was different. This was so obvious that fans picked up on it instantly. Social media exploded. People were asking if there was beef, if there was hidden drama, if something was happening behind the scenes that we didn't know about. One fan literally tweeted, Caitlin Clark and Arie McDonald should not be on the court at the same time, and then repeated it, for emphasis. That's how bad it got. You had people seriously suggesting that the coach should never play them together because the entire offense would fall apart. Possession after possession, the same thing happened. Arie would bring the ball up. Caitlin would be wide open. And Arie would just ignore her. Completely. And here's what made it even stranger. Arie does pass the ball. She'll find Kelsey. She'll hit other teammates. She'll run plays. She'll distribute. Just not to Caitlin. That's what made it so uncomfortable to watch. You've got the best shooter on your team flashing open, calling for the ball, creating space, and the point guard acts like she's not even on the floor. It was bizarre. Awkward. Frustrating. Then Jason Whitlock jumped in with his take, claiming the team lost control of Caitlin Clark and that Caitlin basically benched Arie. He said Caitlin was out of control, pouting, showing up teammates and referees. But come on, man. Let's be real. If you're the franchise player, the star, and your point guard refuses to pass you the ball, what exactly are you supposed to do? Just smile and accept it? Caitlin is a shooter. That's her game. She needs the ball to be effective. But when the only shots you're getting come from 94 feet away with defenders draped all over you, or from launching logo threes because nobody will run a play for you, of course you're going to be frustrated. Any competitor would be. And that's what made this whole situation even worse. The coach never fixed it. Not once. No intervention. No corrections. No pulling Arie aside. No accountability. Arie comes in as the newcomer and decides she's not going to pass to the franchise player, and the coach just lets it happen. Think about that. No conversation. No coaching moment. No, hey, you need to get the ball to our best player. Nothing. That's basic basketball. If Messi went an entire game without getting service from his midfielders, he'd be furious. If Ronaldo's teammates refused to pass him the ball, he wouldn't be smiling either. This isn't unique to Caitlin. Every star who depends on teammates to get them the ball feels this way when they're being frozen out. But somehow, when Caitlin shows emotion, she's labeled a diva. The coach should have stepped in immediately. She should have said, Arie, when Caitlin flashes open, you pass her the ball, or you come sit next to me on the bench. That's coaching. But instead, she let it slide. She let Arie do whatever she wanted, with zero consequences. And that's how the situation completely spiraled. Then came the part that really confused people, the hype. During that 5-game winning stretch, fans suddenly started calling Arie the missing piece. The perfect fit. The solution Indiana had been searching for. She averaged 14 points per game and even dropped 27 against the Mercury. Social media was full of praise. People were saying she stepped up when it mattered most. But here's what everyone conveniently forgot. Caitlin wasn't playing. She was injured. Of course, Arie looked great. When the best player on your team is sitting on the bench, someone has to score. And Ari is absolutely capable of being a starting level point guard when she doesn't have to share the spotlight. That's why people were always confused about why she didn't get more opportunities earlier in her career. But when Caitlin is healthy and on the court, that's when everything changes. Ari suddenly defers to everyone except Caitlin. And that's the frustrating part. Because Ari can run an offense. She can facilitate. She can make great reads. She just chooses not to include Caitlin. Fans started asking the obvious questions. Why is Ari McDonald taking more three-pointers than Caitlin Clark? How does that make sense when Caitlin is one of the greatest shooters in the league? The answer is simple. The offense wasn't designed to get Caitlin good looks. She was basically a decoy. People want to believe next season will be different. They're saying, there's no way this happens again. The coach can't be that tone deaf. But honestly, I'm not so sure. The coach has made it very clear Caitlin is just another player in her system. No special treatment. No plays built for her. No star role. And I think the WNBA won this battle. She's stuck watching from home while everyone else gets to play in this brand new league that's getting all the attention. She'll be back for the WNBA season, sure. But for now, she's on the sidelines. Is it petty to find a little satisfaction in that? Maybe. But after watching her ignore Caitlin for an entire season while the coach did nothing, it feels like the universe decided to balance things out. Karma doesn't always move fast, but when it does, it's beautiful. Ari is still a good player. She'll come back and probably contribute. But hopefully she learns something. When you're the newcomer, you don't get to decide who matters. You don't freeze out the franchise player. You don't let personal grudges control team basketball. Point guards are supposed to make everyone better, especially the best player on the roster. And if you can't do that, don't be surprised when things don't go your way. Last season didn't have to unfold like this. A good coach would have shut it down immediately. A great point guard would have adjusted. But neither happened. Now, a new season is coming, and honestly, I'm not sure much will change. The same coach is still there. The same system is in place. Ari will return. And unless something dramatic happens, we might be headed for a repeat. But for now, there's just a little bit of poetic justice. Sometimes the basketball gods have a sense of humor. And sometimes, they make sure people get exactly what they deserve.